Welcome to Mysteries of the Unknown. In this episode, we're covering the disappearance of Brandon Swanson, a 19-year-old college student who drove into a ditch one night, called his parents for help, and was never seen again. He stayed on the phone with his father for nearly an hour, and then suddenly, the line went silent. His car was found, his phone was not, and 17 years later, there's still no trace of him. This is the mysterious disappearance and story of Brandon Swanson. Subscribe now. Brandon Swanson disappeared in the early morning hours of May 14, 2008, in rural western Minnesota. At the time, Brandon was a 19-year-old student at Minnesota West Community and Technical College, studying wind energy. He had just finished his spring semester and spent the evening celebrating with friends, first in Lind, then later in Canby, where he had previously attended school. Friends reported that Brandon had a few drinks, but everyone who saw him said he didn't appear drunk or impaired. Around midnight, he left Canby to drive home to Marshall, a trip that should have taken about 30 minutes, but Brandon never made it home. Around 1:54 a.m., Brandon called his parents from his cell phone. He said he had driven into a ditch and needed help. He believed he was near Lind, a small town southwest of Marshall. His parents, Brian and Annette Swanson, got in their pickup truck and headed towards Lind. Brandon stayed on the phone with his father while they drove around looking for him. They tried flashing their headlights and describing landmarks, but neither could see the other. Brandon remained calm. He eventually said he was going to leave his car and walk toward the lights of a town, which he assumed was Lind. He and his father agreed to meet at the Lindwood Tavern, a bar in town. Brandon stayed on the line the entire time, giving updates as he walked, mentioning fences, gravel roads, and at one point, the sound of running water nearby. Then, after 47 minutes on the phone, at exactly 2:28 a.m., Brandon abruptly said, "Oh shit!" and the line went silent. His father stayed on the call for several minutes, repeatedly calling his name, but there was no response. He tried calling back. The phone rang, but no one answered. Eventually, it went straight to voicemail. At 6:30 a.m., after searching through the night, Brandon's parents contacted the Lind Police Department to report him missing. Initially, officers told them Brandon was 19 and had the right to be missing, but his parents insisted that something was wrong. Later that day, authorities began a formal search. They requested cell phone data and discovered something unexpected. Brandon had not been near Lind at all. His phone had last pinged off a tower near Taunton, Minnesota, about 25 miles northwest of where he believed he was. Police and search teams were redirected. They eventually found Brandon's green Chevy Lumina abandoned on a gravel road near Porter Township, along the Yellow Medicine River. The car was stuck on a slight incline. The wheels were functional, and the vehicle showed no signs of damage or foul play. Search dogs were brought in. One trail led away from the vehicle, across fields, a ditch, and into a heavily wooded area. The scent led to the edge of the river. They briefly picked up on the other side before vanishing completely. Authorities searched by foot, helicopter, and boat. Divers were sent into the Yellow Medicine River. Gates were placed downstream to catch any debris or remains. Over time, it became one of the most extensive search operations in Minnesota's history. More than 500 volunteers participated. Over 120 square miles were searched, but no trace of Brandon has ever been found. To this day, there has been no body, no phone, no clothing or personal items recovered, and no confirmed sightings. The last known contact was that 47-minute phone call and his final words before the line went silent. That's the full story of what happened to Brandon Swanson, at least the part we know. In part 2, we'll go through the theories. Was it an accident? Did he fall into the river? Or did something or someone else cross his path that night? That's coming up next, right here on Mysteries of the Unknown.